Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rita Smith, the #1 food fairy, and I'm here today because I have recruited the help of my super physically fit Canadian infantry son, David. He is gonna chop a rutabaga for me because I'm gonna make a great big pot of potage, which is one of the best uses for rutabaga. So as I said in my previous video on rutabagas, it's really good to have a strong man about the place, which my kids said is the oldest phrase they've ever heard. But if you've got a strong man about the place to chop your rutabaga for you, you should take advantage of it. And so today, that's exactly what I'm doing. David, take it away with the grandpa. Oh, David Smith, the 19th best food fairy.
Okay. So
1, 2, 3. Just 1, 2, 3, go. Woo! Okay, see, you don't even get an half, eh? Okay, so there you go. Now, hold on, wait, let me get out of the way. You cut my cutting board.
Oh, buddy.
The rutabaga is tougher than the cutting board. Holy crow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, good. Now, if you could cut each of those in half, that would be good. Wow, tougher than wood.
Half that way or half this way?
Half like that. Like that.
That way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Sorry, that glanced out.
You can see where this is a challenge,
This is not
eh?
freaking easy, man. I should have brought my axe.
Your axe. 1, 2, 3.
Like a... Because I keep hitting my fist like a cleaver type thing.
Don't cut yourself. Okay, there you go. Go again.
Jesus. You were kidding. It is like...
It's an adventure. It's not just a vegetable, it's an adventure. Whoa! Jeez, don't hit the granite.
No, it's easier on the edge of the table.
Okay, but yeah, but look at...
Well, you told me, you said a strong man fucking whack the thing. Like,
okay, there you go. Good enough. Can you do that one in half for me?
Yeah.
All right. All right, I have a feeling, get your hand out of the road there.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a feeling that this video will put more people off of rutabaga than it turns people on to rutabaga. But anyway.
Rutabaga, all you gotta do is commit a massacre in your kitchen. It's fucking delicious.
Did you want to say anything to our viewing audience?
Are we gonna do a video when we show what we made?
We're going to make the potage.
Okay, so let's do it.
You do it then?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is David Smith, the 19th greatest food fairy, finishing up his job of whacking apart the rutabaga.
Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous thing you've ever made.
But
look, there's like wood chips.
I know, now we have wood chips. Okay, we'll try to make sure there's none get in the soup.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for chopping the rutabaga. I'll come back when we start the potage. Thanks, Dave. Okay, we survived the rutabaga chopping episode. Thank you, David. And I am now gonna do the second step in potage, which is I'm gonna put essentially all the vegetables that I could find in my fridge that are that go well together are gonna go into my Paterno Dutch oven stock pot. I'll chop up the cabbage to make it smaller. We've chopped up the rutabaga to make it manageable. I'm going to peel the ginger and chop it up and put it in. Carrots are ready to go. Potatoes will go, peels and all. All the celery that's in my fridge, all of it is going into the pot. And onions, which I have chopped. So this is not like stock because everything that you see here is actually going to end up in the soup. I'm going to blend it or puree it afterward. But I don't need to peel the potatoes. Everything else has been cleaned except for the ginger. I'll do that next. The onions have been cleaned. I'll chop the cabbage into a manageable size. It's all going to go into a big Paterno pot with a minimal amount of water, maybe an inch or two. I'll put the lid on it, bring it to a boil, and let it cook for, an hour or more until all the vegetables are extremely tender and there is as little liquid in the pan as we can manage it, and then we're going to puree it. I will also put into the pan some salt, some pepper, and some thyme. Okay, so here we are with carrots, potatoes, cabbage, onions, celery, rutabagas, ginger are going to go into our potage. So here we are at the stove, just to give you a sense of volume. This is a 14-liter stock pot, and it is filled right to the top with vegetables, and it's filled about a third of the way with water. I'm going to put a lid on it. It won't be very tight right now, but will get tighter as the vegetables cook down. And so my giant stock pot full of carrots, cabbage, potatoes, rutabaga will cook down well, they won't cook to mush, but I will make them mush with my stick blender afterward. But this is gonna cook for like a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. It's gonna cook for a while. So here is the pot of vegetables, almost, I'm not gonna say dry, there is liquid in there, but the liquid is actually below the level of the vegetables. The vegetables are pretty soft, and I'm gonna have a shot at pureeing them with my stick blender. They might not be quite soft enough, but I'll have a run at it and see how it goes. But that's about as much liquid as I want to have in this pan, and there's nothing in there but water. There's no broth, that's just liquid from the vegetable. So let me have a run at this and see how it goes. They might not be soft enough, but they might be. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I can do this. Okay, I'm going to take about 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm going to puree this whole entire pot. And then when I come back, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Look at how much that's cooked down. When I come back, hopefully we'll have a whole pureed pot of vegetables and ginger and potatoes and a little bit of water, and we'll have our potage. I'll put some seasoning in it at that time.
Oh man, this smells good.
This is yum taking you. What do you think, Dave? What's your opinion?
It smells really good.
Tell our viewing audience. So you've added thyme and salt and pepper.
It's quite a bit thicker.
It's really
than
thick,
the
eh?
soup that I ate. Yeah.
Okay, so I might add some broth to it. We could add water even if we wanted.
Do you have broth?
I have chicken broth, yeah. Okay. I can make some of that. Hold on 1 second.
How about that?
You ready for that? Okay. You blend, I'll pour.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so we're gonna thin this soup out a little bit with some chicken broth. We could use vegetable broth, but we're using chicken because we have it and it's delicious. Okay, so go ahead and hold on 1 second. I'll just okay, he's gonna thin that out a little bit.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Is that better?
It's
more like soup?
It's a much better consistency.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Here, I'll give you a bit more. We also have to taste it for flavor, right? We can't just assume it's done. We have to taste it for salt and thyme and everything. We'll come back in a moment and we'll taste it for flavor. Okay, David tasted this and he thought it could use more ginger. And since it's too late to put in more fresh ginger, I'm going to put in some powdered. We're going to put in a bit more thyme, right? And a bit more salt. And then David's going to come and stick blend it again for me because he's so muscular. And, okay. We'll get all that.
Key-eyed.
Was that the word you wanted to use? And the wooden spoon in there. Oh, there you go. That's one nice thing. Okay, we adjusted the seasoning, the salt, the thyme. We added a bit of powdered ginger. We probably should have added more fresh ginger at the start, but in any case, this is, believe it or not, when you're looking at this pan, that's a whole head of cabbage, most of a rutabaga, 6 potatoes, carrots, onions, celery, and it's just pureed to liquid. You could feed this to a baby. It's so, oh, look, there's a whole carrot there. We'll get rid of that. You could feed that to a baby. And you can use it as a base for sauce. I'll actually do a sauce recipe to show you, like a curried sauce, and use this as the base. But this is potage. This is the French vegetable-based soup with, we put in chicken broth, but you could put in vegetable broth. And 1 cup of this is like 4 servings of vegetables, which is just incredible. So we're gonna let this simmer a little bit more with the seasoning we've put in, and then I will package it up for the freezer, and that's potage. Much to my delight, one of the things that I found potage is an excellent basis for is sauces for other foods, where you might use cream and milk and butter and other white sauce based things or other kind of fatty rich sauces. Potage, which is nothing but vegetables and possibly broth, actually makes a great basis for a sauce. So one of the best ones that I love is a curry sauce. Before I go out skiing or before I go out and do something, maybe head for work, or just if I'm home working in my office, I take some curry powder and I stir it into the potage. I'd use my whip if I had it, but my whip is in the dishwasher right now. I stir some curry powder into the potage, which is pure vegetable. I also add a little bit of garlic, maybe a pretty good sized spoon of garlic actually. Okay, pretty good size, maybe 2 spoons of garlic into the potage with the curry powder. And I have found that it benefits by a little bit of extra salt because it's going to season quite a bit of extra food. So I'm going to put a little bit more salt in than is just in the soup itself. Okay, so that's potage with curry powder and garlic and a little bit of extra salt. Okay, now I have here a dish. I covered the bottom with potatoes. The potatoes have been pre-cooked, but they don't need to be. It just so happens that I have some that were. I'm going to put on top of the potatoes chicken. It doesn't need to be boneless. You could be using legs and thighs. You could use any kind of chicken that you had. Okay, so I'm going to put the chicken on top of the potatoes. And then I'm just going to put the potage over the whole mix. If I had carrots or celery or I have green beans. I could put green beans in here, actually. Hold on. I could do that. Anyway, I'm going to put the potage-based sauce over the chicken and the potatoes. I'm going to stick it in the oven. Okay, I made a last-minute executive decision when I remembered I had green beans in the fridge. So I added the green beans on top of the chicken. They're already cooked as well. So really the only thing that's cooking here is the chicken, but it'll all be good. It'll all blend in the flavors. The curry takes a nice time to marry with the food. Okay. So I'm gonna take potatoes, green beans, chicken, and the sauce is a potage-based sauce, all vegetable. No cream, no butter, none of that. With some curry powder and some garlic. I'm going to stick this whole thing in the oven at about 325 degrees or 350 degrees and let it sit for an hour or so, which is about as long as I would need to complete a task or go skiing. And when I finish, it's going to be amazing and fantastic. I'll show it to you when it comes out of the oven. But using potage as a sauce base is one of the best things I learned in 2014.
I'm so sick of reality TV. I'm so tired of my girlfriend ignoring me. I sure could use a little bit of company. Some time away from all the wannabe celebrities.